Governor Cuomo, or as I call him, Governor Corona. Cuomo Corona is a fake progressive who now requires you to wear a mask wherever you go or face an arbitrary fine, yet is too vain to wear one himself. You know, he just gave himself a 40% pay raise. It was passed through last year's budget, despite the $10 billion budget gap, so surely he can afford to buy a mask. After all, it's on us. And why does he need reporters in the room at his daily hour-long press conferences when they could simply teleconference their questions in? Even if I'm wrong about all this, would this not be in the best interest of his safety? Meanwhile, he demands more federal money, claiming otherwise, that there will have to be new tax hikes, teachers and public employees may be laid off to forfeit the price. But remember, this is the governor with a track record that New Yorkers seem to easily forget. Like when he funneled state money into the failed Solar City projects, which were supposed to promote green energy, but then collapsed shortly thereafter, and the money was traced to the Buffalo Billion. All Cuomo's cronies, all of whom landed up in jail. Other failed, costly endeavors included these expensive visitor centers, which hardly anyone visits. Then you have the state grant that he gave to Global Foundries in order to create jobs, and shortly thereafter, Global Foundries laid off workers. His failed casino plan, the ballot manipulation he used to achieve that. Here in New York, the house always wins. Or his expensive road signs to promote tourism, which violated federal highway regulations, so in a show of hubris, Cuomo refused to take them down, doubling the expenses as we had to pay the fines for keeping them up. And then there's the 15-year dispute over the decaying highway to the Seneca Native American Reservation. Cuomo wanted to raise taxes to make them pay for it. Meanwhile, his only solution in the meantime was to reduce the speed limit on that road to 45 miles per hour instead of actually repairing the road. And now, he's finally getting around to repaving it. There's a whole list of other things, but right now what he's doing, Cuomo, Dr. Mario, is grandstanding. He's using this crisis to position himself for his dreams of one day becoming a presidential candidate. Go to any airport anywhere in the country, because they have CNN on the TVs all the time, you'll always see Cuomo giving his 1-hour speech. He's using this to build national recognition. Then, in a more nefarious turn of events, you have the release of prisoners in New York State, supposedly to protect them from a corona outbreak that could potentially happen in prisons. So far, of the first wave, at least 50 have been sent back to jail for theft and other violent offenses. One guy for setting fire to the door of his girlfriend's apartment. I don't think these guys are into practicing social distancing. Again, you are less safe, and your interests as a law-abiding citizen, when the hammer of these midnight laws comes down upon you, no one will be there to stand up for you. It's understandable that our rights may need to be abridged when up against a crisis such as this one, but all of these limitations, many of them arbitrary, are ineffective and done by executive order, not by due process. And the most disturbing part is there is no guarantee that you will ever get these back to the full extent that you once had them. And there's no end in sight to what other limitations may be imposed upon you. Well, if you liked my video, be sure to hit subscribe. I'd like to build a fan base, and until next time, life, liberty, and the pursuit of all!